Hello and welcome back everyone to the next episode on SAP BTP development using Claude Code. In this series of videos, we are learning about how to use Claude Code to day-to-day development for BTP projects. In the last episode, we looked at the importance, modularization and best practices along with a generator to generate claude.md file for your CAPM project. Anubhav Training is providing a free generator for you to generate a claude.md file for your CAP projects. So we can help you to get started with Claude Code. In our today's session, as promised in the last class, we will talk more about .claude folder. So the .claude folder is another very important topic to understand to use the Claude in its full potential. With this understanding, you will be ready for soon agentic AI coding rather than just vibe coding, which we've been doing so far. That was not very effective way to use AI for the day-to-day coding. So the .cloud folder, what exactly it is and where does it exist? So the .cloud folder is a local configuration directory that controls how the cloud code will behave either for a specific project or across all projects on your machine. Here is a breakdown of its component. So first, the .cloud folder can contain claude.md file, which already we discussed is a primary instruction file, which is loaded at the start of every session. It reads the file and understand the project architecture, coding style, preferred libraries, commands, and critical rules. Think of it as a briefing document you hand over to Claude before it touches your code base. Then comes is .claude settings.json, which stores project level settings. Things like which tools are allowed or blocked. If you remember in one of the previous episode, I allowed the web search tool to do something on the web search when I was using by the way questions. So basically your environment variables, your model preferences, your tools allow list or whitelist list can be added to the settings.json. Then comes is the folder structure of .claude folder. The directory can live in your system in two places. One is inside your project directory, which is /your project.claude folder. Settings will apply only to the specific project, whereas one .claude directory can exist globally where the settings you write apply to all the projects in your machine. So that is developer specific. Let me show you in the system. So when we create our project, the other day when I created a tool allow permission with /permission command, you can observe that .claude directory was created with this setting local file. Yes, and in here we actually whatever tools we allow, you can see they are automatically added. And as in when I'm doing git commit also, you can see all the tools which I'm allowing are getting added automatically. So this folder is now project specific. We will also upload this folder in the GitHub so other developers can take an advantage. However, the local JSON file will not be shared with other developers. If you want to create a file which need to be shared for settings and allow list with everyone, change this .local to blank. Basically make settings.json only. However, settings.local.json is specific to developer. I recommend you to keep it as it is and add some whitelisted tools which you want to allow at a project level in another settings.json file. So this is our folder at a project level. So how the Claude will understand settings related to current project will be here. Now this claude.md file can be outside or it can be sometime put inside only. Yeah, but it's the same thing. Then the second folder is there in your computer. So in your computer, you can see in my root directory of Windows, there's a Claude folder which contains now developer specific settings like memory JSON, setting JSON. Yeah, what is specific to a developer? Suppose you want to store your ABAP password securely and use that in all the Claude sessions. You can store that in this .credential.json file. So you don't have to provide Claude every time you connect to your ABAP or S4HANA system in the Claude sessions to fetch some data. or you're using some MCP tools to query sensitive data from a FTP server, you can also mention that here. Now it is very private to you and it stays within your within your computer. Nobody else will ever be able to access this folder outside. Yeah, you are just keeping it inside. It also contains project specific settings and all the different details and your uses history. You see telemetry, what how you are using Claude, what are the things you're doing with Claude, are you effectively using it or not. All this data it is tracking and collating and keeping it in this folder for this user, for this computer, whosoever is using this computer. And of course only I am using it, so my data is getting collected in this folder. So this is where the Claude directory exists. Now the directory includes multiple folders. Yeah, different folders are there in this directory. So we will quickly understand the different folder. One folder you have already understood. It's the commands folder. Yeah, where all the slash commands, which are custom slash commands, are stored. However, there are other folders. The first folder comes is skill folder. So it is a custom subfolder pattern where you can store reusable instruction set like the skill.md file. I will explain that in the future again. This file we will reference also in the future. Each skill is focused to guide Claude to read this skills.file to perform a specific task, such as creating a document, binding a front-end component to backend, or reading a PDF file. So all these are, there are a lot of pre-built skills which are also provided by the the people who are developing on top of Claude. We can even reference or reuse those skills. So rather than cramming everything into one giant claude.md file, you can split the concerns into the modular skill file, and that the Claude will load only when it is relevant. So there are ready-made skills which are provided by Claude team, and there are also skills which are provided by ecosystem developers like node modules. Yes, so we can put all those skills in this. In the future classes, I will show you how to use skills. Then comes is rule. So rules are about your project specific rules. Think of it as a place to store topic specific rules that Claude should follow, but only when it's actually working on that topic. Instead of cramming every rule from the claude.md file, which gets loaded on every session request, you can split your rules out into the rules folder in separate markdown files with .md extension. For example, your security rule is about access UAA, add restrict annotation, and low level filtering don't need to in the Claude's context when you are just asking it to add a new field to CDS entity. But when you say secure this endpoint, that's when the Claude should know that what is my security rule for access UAA. So you can create a security.md file in the rules folder. And whenever you asking a security related question, the Claude is intelligent enough to automatically pick up the security.md file. So what it does, there are a lot of benefits. The practical benefit is it will keep your claude.md file lean, short and focused. Claude.md file should stay under 200 lines. I showed you in the last episode. Converting things that matter on every task, you your directory, layout, coding style, and core commands. Rule files handle the occasional but important stuff like security.md for authorization patterns, logging and audit logging, secret management, deployment.md, MTA structure, Cloud Foundry deployment checklist, service binding rules, database.md, HANA migration approach, no destructive DDL or seed data information. GDPR.md, whenever you're working with European client to comply your software with GDPR guideline like data retention policy, annotation rules, and ensuring handlers. Multi-tenancy. Whenever you're working with multi-tenant cloud application, then tenant isolation rules, SAP MTX setup, no cross database tenant connections, all these things you can put in multi-tenancy.md. So in this rule folder, you can specifically mention rule for specific tasks. So it's just markdown files. It doesn't do anything autonomously, but they are just rules to make your claude.md file lean. Then comes is agents, my personal favorite. This is the functionality different from rule. Agent is not a list of constraint. It is specified or a specialized identity. When Claude reads an agent file, it effectively becomes a different expert. Remember sub-agent concept which I explained the earlier class? Exactly. That is what you will do in agents. So when you want to hand over or start a parallel session which need to autonomously work on a parallel task, you can go with agents folder with its own defined role, what's responsible it for, and hard boundaries on what it must never do. For a BTP cap project, you can write agents like CDS modeler. This agent only work with DB folder parallelly and write .cds model file. Always use CUID, managed aspect, never add business logic, strict Pascal case entity names, right? Then you can have the Fiori builder. Only touches the F folder, right? UI annotations like field group, line item, never touches the DB module. Then you can have test writer, which owns the test folder, writes just test, yes, or blanket JS code coverage tests, or unit test using QUnit, generates the test from acceptable criteria, enforcing code coverage up to 80%, never puts business logic inside the test files. Then you can have security reviewer. Yeah, these are agents, yeah, sub agents. You can think of a very big team, and each team member have different expertise. You can do that with the help of Claude using this agents folder. So security reviewer read only auditor that scans the whole code base for missing restrict, expose entities, weak authentication patterns, authorization patterns, hard coded credentials, and return the finding list. The key things that make agent powerful is that orchestrator, which is Claude, the main agent, that can spawn multiple agents in parallel and or in sequence. If you say scaffold the order feature, Claude can run CDS modeler to build the schema, the handler writer to implement service logic, and Fiori builder to write annotation, and then test writer to generate test, all from one request, each staying strictly within their scope. Yeah, so that is how you can build a large army of agents which can build your project parallelly. It's just like a real world team. So we will be learning more in detail in the future, but it was just an overview of .claude folder I wanted to give. Now to explain it more in detail, I have also created some HTML file. So we can go back to our material day 7. You can run this explainer file. So let me open it with the live server, and you can see here. So .claude folder is the Claude's code local configuration directory. It controls how the Claude behaves either for one project or across multiple project on your machine. So you can see it's created in the root directory. It has got other folders, commands, agents, skills, and setting.json. Yeah, you can add the claude.md file inside or outside also. It's the same thing. Then you can see commands contain slash commands like slash review, slash deploy, slash commit was one command which we created manually. If you remember, that was stored in the .claude folder. We then created cap language commands for creating translation for right in end. Yes, these were custom commands we built. Then we can add rules. Yeah, hard constraint that Claude must follow. No raw SQL, no secrets. Yes, use req.error, for example, these things, which are rules specific to a specific work. So you can split them into multiple markdown files. Claude will read these rules only when necessary. Yes, that will make your claude.md file little bit more leaner. Then we have agents, which are sub-agents with their own instruction that Claude can spin for a specialized task. Then we have skills, modular skills guided to load for a, whenever it is relevant for a specific task like building document, PPT, PDF, or some front-end task to add Fiori element UI. Now, actually, agents are built up with multiple skills only. Yeah. So let's say you build 5 skills for UI and you add all 5 skills to a UI agent. So that is what you can do in the future. Then settings.json, tool allow list, block tools, environment variables, model preferences for this project. So this is how exactly the file is, the folder is structured. For more detail about each of the every section, I have written here in these tabs. So you can go through that and you can do understand the do's and don'ts when it comes to the .claude folder. Now comes is one more important topic for today is the concept of the memory. Yeah. So let me show you something very interesting. When I go back to our Claude terminal and let me just exit this terminal and start a new one for Claude, and I can say rename to day 7 where we dot about Claude folder. Yeah. And now I can come back. So I will write something called memory. What it does. So you can see it is asking me to load project memory, user memory, or open auto memory. So what happens? You see, project memory is referring to your current project claude.md file, which may exist here in the root directory, or it may exist in the command directory. So that is what the project memory is. So every time you launch a session, the project memory is loaded, and Claude will know what are your boundary condition, naming convention, and project structure. Yes. Then comes his user memory. The user memory is where you write the rules which you like, your personal preferences, your personal choice. You doing coding in in a specific style. Let's say one developer in my company, he only prefer TypeScript. He never use JavaScript. Yeah. Within TypeScript, he only refers certain instructions. He doesn't refer some instructions which are blacklisted, or he doesn't like that. So the developer specific things can be written in the project in the Windows or your operating system root directory Claude folder, claude.md, which I also showed you earlier. So when you open this, yeah, user memory, it will open this claude.md file. Then comes his auto memory. So whenever you are working with Claude as a developer, you are typing so many commands, and sometimes you are giving instructions regularly. Let's say you are every time dealing with dollar currency whenever you're dealing, or you're dealing with date format DD, MM, YYYY only. Now, Claude is a great agent. It is AI, and AI is constantly watching you. So based on your actions, prompts, and how you are developing, it drives some pattern automatically. All these patterns it will automatically write in a file called memory.json or memory.md file in your in your root directory of your computer. You see settings, sorry, memory.json. So this is where Claude will regularly log what it is observing based on your actions, based on what you're doing. Yes. So suppose you're most of the time dealing with dd-mm-yyyy format, so you should, as a developer, can open this file. Yes. And you can, right now this file is empty, so nothing is opened, but you can actually open this file to see what is the observation of Claude. Let's say you work with the Claude for about 10 days, 20 days, 100 days, a year. So you can always open this file. Now why, what is the benefit? By opening this file, you can actually see some important aspects which you would like to be part of your project, that everybody should follow this, because if I did that, most of the time I got better results. So what you can do is you can observe or ask all your teammates to observe the auto memory feature. Look at what are the common things which Claude has observed in their day-to-day practice, and bring them as a pointer to the meeting where you are enhancing your claude.md file. So that's where this file is become little bit more critical. So I hope it gave you an idea about .claude folder, the best practices, and some of the things which you can do at your level as a junior developer also to contribute to the claude.md file with the auto memory folder and the feature. I hope you are enjoying this video series. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next episode with new topic on Claude. With that, thank you so much for watching this video with me today. If you feel this content is helping you, kindly subscribe and share this channel in the WhatsApp group of your company teams. And I hope to see you in my next episode. Happy learning. Till then, goodbye and see you again.